Welcome back to another edition of Practical Assertion. Thanks for taking the time to join us yet again, and if this is your first time, we invite you to go out to our website, which is shown on your screen, and catch up on past editions. This week, our topic is entitled Back to School, hence the setup here. It's that time of year again where students of all ages and different levels of attainment are headed back to school. They have made several trips to the malls, department stores, dollar stores, and the like, all in order to get ready for the first day of school. All this after a relaxing summer break, which to them, at this point in retrospect, seemed much too short. Nonetheless, again they prepare for a new school year. For some, it is with tremendous anxiety that they agonize over the trials to come. This could be in part due to the challenges of fitting in, the ever-annoying bullies, or the struggle to do well in school. For others, it is with extreme excitement that they look forward to reuniting with friends from the past, meeting new friends, and the joy of excelling in school. Either way it goes, whether anxious or excited, ready or not, here it comes. I want to take a few minutes to explore the idea of back to school with the emphasis on progression. After all, that is the whole idea of school in the first place. It is expected that those students, whatever their grade level, progress each and every year. It is required that the student demonstrate past accomplishment and retention of previous course material and build upon it. All of this in preparation for the real life that awaits each of them. Progression is assumed, and this is why the instructors of grades above the second grade don't continue to teach addition and subtraction. It is assumed that the student has acquired these skills previously. By the time the students reach middle and high school, arithmetic has evolved into math, where equations and the dreaded word problems rule the majority of attention of the students. No longer are the reading materials filled primarily with pictures and single word phrases. Rather, pages upon pages of words that require another book alongside with definitions that also require clarification. So my task with this practical assertion is to try to make some application related to back to school that you can use to help make life a little more tolerable. So here goes. Just as school is meant to be a progressive endeavor, the same principle should be applied to your adult lives. You ought to expect and require of yourself the ability to demonstrate past accomplishments and retention of previous lessons learned. In the area of math, have you progressed? Are you in better shape this year than at this same point last year? Are you making better calculations now regarding spending, whether it be money or time? Are you budgeting better than before? At this point in your life, you should be exhibiting better restraint as it relates to sales and special offers. If so, your credit card debt should be less, or better yet, gone. And if not, perhaps you failed that course and need to be held back. In the area of reading, are you able to read people better? Or do you find yourself caught up in the drama and can't figure out the plot? If so, you should visit our blog page and review the Drama is for the Movies edition of Practical Assertion. In the area of science, are you able to research and collect data that will enable you to form your hypothesis, that is, your theory of possible outcomes? If not, this would explain why you find yourself in the same or worse predicament time and time again. Regarding physical education, are you in better shape at this point in your life compared to this same time last year? If not, maybe it's because you've been skipping gym class. You do realize that the older you get, the harder it is to stay in shape, right? As it relates to bullies, just as in school, there is the equivalent of bullies in our adult lives, whether it is that once love interest that will not go away, the boss who struggles with his or her inadequacies, or the stranger on the way to work with road rage. Or it can also be a family member who refuses to accept your accomplishments. And unfortunately, they all have to be dealt with. If you can recall from your school days, once you stood up to the bully, they either went away, found someone else to harass, or became your best friend. Let me suggest that you try the same tactic. Not with force, however, lest you find yourself in legal trouble. There are countless ways to stand up to them without losing your integrity. The bottom line is that perhaps all of us could take a thought from the back-to-school crowd. Each and every one of us ought to be showing that we have learned something in the past, and those lessons have prepared us to make better and more informed decisions presently. We should also be reminded that you're never too old to learn. Maybe it's time for you to go back to school. Many adults, after having been laid off, let go, downsized, or whatever, learned a very tough lesson about life. If asked, I'd be willing to bet you that the majority of them would tell you that they should have stayed in school, if you will, and continue to prepare themselves. Well, that's the thought for this week. What are your thoughts? Do you have a question on your mind about this matter? Unlike in school where you had to raise your hand and be recognized, you can simply click the leave a comment button above and we'll answer your questions. You can tell us what you think or suggest future subject matter for Practical Assertion. Go out to our website, which is shown on your screen, and let us know what you think. Please forward this on to your family, friends, co-workers, and the like to help spread the word about Assert. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week for another edition of Practical Assertion. Take care.